Hello and welcome to the live stream. Today I am going to be coding the viewers' ideas. So it's been a little bit since I last did this. This is number 4 for this series. And it's been a while since I've been live streaming consistently, so I know there's a possibility that not many people will be coming to this live stream, but as we get more consistent with this, I know it will start to get better. But so in this series, usually I let my viewers give me ideas in the chat and I'll just start coding them. So if there's anyone in here, we can start doing that right away. But if not, I do have a list that I can pull from previous live streams. And anyone in the chat, let me know if something's wrong with the live stream, with the mic, or with the video feed. Cool Beans, I can actually see that in chat. I can still see your old chats from yesterday. You said how the AI works in Lethal Company. How does that work? Let's see. I'm gonna pull up some real quick before I start coding something random. Let's see. Okay, So the AI behavior, they use nodes, right? Oh, behind gestures. The gesture. Okay, so it knows where everyone is, knows how to run to them as fast as possible. It does have stages. But yeah, that would be possible. You could even just make the gesture. Let's do that. What does the gesture even look like? It's been a while since I've looked at that. Lethal Company gesture. Oh yeah, okay. That's scary. Legs with a... Okay, yeah. I don't see the link to the video, but I don't even see it as a possibility of making it show. So I'm going to start just making a gesture, if that's okay. And I don't know if I'll make the AI like you want, but I think it would be cool just to make the gesture itself in Roblox. I bet it's already been done. But it'll be my take on it. So we need a gesture box first. And that kind of looked... I'm going to put this in my other window so I can kind of see what it looks like. The gesture box is kind of like a square. And then it has a little bit of a top. It's a little bit bigger. That's a little bit too big. A little bit thinner. It has legs and arms, which is crazy. But I'm just going to take it from a rig builder. And that looks more like a... Is that a mesh? That looks like a mesh, but it could be arthro, whatever. I think that has kind of the legs that we're looking for here. If we take off the legs from the character, and the foot, we take them off the him. Where'd they go? Uh-oh. They not paste? There they are. There's the legs. Okay. Look at this. We're doing some surgery right now. Oh yeah, there's the legs. I mean, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Just, I don't think he should have the shoes or the shirts. What's up, cheese gods? How's it going? We're making the Jester from Lethal Company right now. Welcome to the live stream. Enjoy the stay. So we're going to take off the skins. I don't even know how you do that. Is if I delete the rig, what happens to the, yeah, I don't know. There, you know, let's just keep the skin on for right now. I bet it's in the texture, isn't it? Let's just take off the texture. Or mesh ID? No. Texture ID, and then just put 0 on it. There we go. Look at that. And he can keep the shoes. So the next thing we're going to do is add the arm. Oh, I forgot the arm. I need that back. Arthro, come back. I need your arm. And now we have an arm. You can go back. Arm spawned all the way over there. So the Jester has an arm like this. And now let's I think it has like a wind up thing. So let's make that. First I'm just gonna group this arm together so I don't have to select every part. So it has like it's a Jester, or it's a music box, so it has like the music wind up thing. Build that real quick. That just looks like cylinders on each other, really thin ones. So do. Right here looks fine. And then another one. I won't be too detailed with this. And then another one for the crank. There we go. And then this arm is usually just always like somehow cranking itself. Arm is lower on the box. We can make this a little bit larger so then it can bend. And maybe I made it too large. Let's see. Just needs to be touching the crank. So yeah, definitely too large. But let's get it rotated and then we can resize it to the right amount. Oh, wait. Rotate some more. There we go. It's actually pretty close. Yeah, that's close. That's pretty close. Let's rotate the forearm a little bit so it's facing the right direction. So, and actually we could resize it back to being big. There we go. Now the box isn't big enough, but that's fine. Look at that. We got an arm. Let's take that texture off real quick. It'll still look like it has a shirt, but it's close enough. Oh yeah, so when you try to change the color of a dummy, sometimes you might realize that the color changes back when the game starts, or let me show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I'm in the rig builder. I'm just going to create a block avatar here. So a block avatar usually has what's called body colors, and you could either remove that, I think, and it would start working, or if you just want to use the body colors object, you can use the body colors object to color the parts of dummy. If you're trying to color the base parts, at least. If you want to change the texture of a dummy that has meshes, you can still do it that way, I think, but textures would also be a way to do it. Just wanted to help you out, Cheese, there. And I see another person saying hi in the chat, but I can't pronounce the name, but hello. Anyway, so let's continue with the Jester. I don't think I'll mimic the colors too much of the Jester. I just know that it's a little purple on the top. So we can do like, that's decently close. And usually this part is like reddish or pinkish, sort of like that color, but it usually has like a circle around that's like yellow. And there's much more texture to the Jester usually, but you know, the legs are actually the right color and the arm is the right color. Apparently they didn't texture that in the game for reasons. And finally, you know, it pops out sometimes with a very scary looking skull. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit on the skull and get a skull from the toolbox, because I can't make it myself. Oh, let's see. You didn't mean a human rig in the chat? Let's see. Try changing it to a big orb. Oh, I see. Oh, for some reason, I don't know why I read you were trying to change the color in the chat. I see now that you just meant change the model in general. Oh, what's up? Kwoku? Hello. Yeah, so changing the AI model will make it stop working if you don't have a humanoid root, especially. Make sure you have a humanoid root, a humanoid. And if there's any animations in there that's trying to use like arms and stuff, that would also break it. But usually if you at least have the humanoid root, it doesn't matter what the rest of the objects are. I would have to experiment a little bit because I've not worked with non-humanoid rigs in a while. So I'll get back to you on that question in the chat. So let's code the opening of the Jester. So how would we do this? I think what I would do is first make the lid opening. So first I copy and pasted the lid. I'm gonna make the opening position of it. It's just gonna be open like that. I also forgot that this box is going to need to be hollow. So let's do that real quick. Maybe 0.25. And now we have a hollow box. Perfect. Oh, let's anchor all these parts before we ever play the game. I'm going to rename top to lid. Lid. And this is going to be lid open. This one's going to be, I'm going to duplicate the lid again and call it lid closed. So this is all going to be moving actually, so we don't want it to be anchored, do we? But we're going to want all of the parts to be welded to probably this part here. This is going to be a this is going to be a non-humanoid rig, I guess, because I'm making it from scratch. Anyway, I digress. Could just be a mesh. Yeah, let's code that lid opening now. Let's make lid open and lid closed transparent so we can't see them. And then I'm going to highlight everything and anchor it, or not anchor it, group it. So that's a model. Call it the gesture. That's true, Kwoku. That's true. I didn't think about that. That would have worked. I'm not used to unions as much as some devs. Okay, I'm more of just person in the code mostly. Let's code that gesture opening. That would be on the server because it's a server NPC. I'm just gonna make a test script here that will run. Won't be the final one. Actually, let's code it within the gesture with a module script. Function gesture dot open. Oops. And then we need the model. And we need the lid. We need the lid open. And we need the lid closed. And I did not name that last one correct. Lid closed. There we go. Oops. And lid open over here. So that will allow us to tween the lid to being the right position, hopefully. You know, I'm used to doing this with non-stationary objects. I don't know if the object moving would affect the tween. It probably would. Oh. Yeah, so I wouldn't use the lid itself, I guess. Let's see that. Oh, here's an idea. Rather than using this lid closed and lid open idea, I'm going to make a hinge. Hinge is going to be right there. Call it hinge. Then I'm going to anchor the lid to the hinge with a weld constraint. To the lid, to the hinge. And then all I have to do is rotate the hinge to open the lid, I guess. So got the hinge. I don't know what we have to rotate it to. Let's see if I can figure out the rotation real quick. Where is rotation? Guess it's orientation, isn't it? Not that one. Okay, what am I actually editing here? I don't see any change in the hinge. The lid will be unanchored. So the hinge should be able to rotate, but whatever. Oh, did I? Oh, I forgot. The lid is larger than the hinge. There we go. And if I were to rotate the hinge now, we should be able to see it. I was probably doing it in the wrong place. Oh, here we go. C-frame. Look at that. See, it opens. If we set this to like 40, maybe, no, we need much more. We need like 100, like that. There we go. So we just set the orientation Z value to that number, and it opens the lid, and then we'll just have the really scary skull thing pop out for it. So that's with the hinge. So let's go to that module script, delete this, get the hinge instead. In the model, I'm going to say is open as an attribute, is open as a Boolean, true or false. Let's set that to what it's not. So model set attribute is open is equal to model get attribute is open, but then not that. Now local is open is equal to model get attribute is open. And then finally we need to do if is open then open, which we'll just do a tween service or a tween from tween service. Oops, I type so fast sometimes I make so many mistakes. Tween service. We're going to create one. It's going to be using the hinge as the base. We're going to use you know, using a moving model is a weird thing, because if I were to rotate the model itself, the hinge now has a weird orientation. It didn't affect the Z value though, so probably can just edit the Z value. It's very I haven't run into this issue before because I've never worked with this. So the problem with a tween is that it will tween it to the value you set it to, but if it moves, it won't be the right value to change it to anymore. So I guess you could just only tween the one value, but you can't use a tween for that. Yeah, in the chat, making NPC attack with a combo, you just look to see if it attacked recently, and if it did, then it would use a different move instead of the first one, and that would only happen if it like attacks quickly in a row. So like 1 punch, 2 punch, and then an uppercut or something like that. But if the player runs away before it can attack 3 times in a row, it will stop the combo. Well, let's try something. It's always better to try something that doesn't work than not try anything at all. So let's just try what we have here and see what we can do with that. So we have the hinge, queen info, .new 1, and then what we'll want is I have an idea of what could work possibly, but it would be kind of jank. But let's just try this. And then we would do orientation equal to hinge.orientation plus vector3.new 0, 0, 100. Let's just see what happens when we run that. do a task.wait so we can actually see it happen. 5 seconds, and then we're gonna print open so we know it's supposed to open. Let's try that out. Oh, I didn't ever play the tween. I'm stupid. So, tween equals that, and then tween play. Oh dear, that didn't work. The reasoning is because welds don't stay welded like they are if you edit anything but the C frame for some reason. Forgot about that. So it would be C frame, and then times C frame dot angles 0, 0, possibly math dot radians 100. I'm not sure what that will do. This could just destroy everything. Oh, look at that. But definitely, you know, worked. While it's standing still, at least. Yeah, you could just make an animation, couldn't you? Oh dear. I might be dumb. See, you can tell that I'm not used to working with NPCs too often that have non-humanoid features. Okay. Let's forget this little script for right now. Oops, not that one. No, I don't want to generate a rig anymore. So if we just were to like this, what happens? Okay. Do you need a humanoid in there? So I will put one in there. Okay, so it wants all the rigs parts on anchored, which is fine. And oh my goodness, what is this? Why is it like that? Oh my. Anyway, I'm gonna ignore that for right now. Okay. So if it's not an actual humanoid, how would we go animating this? Because I see that it thinks these arms are and legs. It doesn't think we could use. Maybe we can just call it body parts. Not sure. Wonder if this is why people use like custom animation editors rather than the Roblox built-in one. But anyway. I might try to cheat the system and just make the lid called normal part name, which would be just call the lid the head, I guess. Okay, it doesn't want me to do that. Rename head. Okay. Animation editor. Do I have a head now? No. Huh. Isn't that interesting? I don't know what would allow us Yeah, I don't know. Do not know. What would allow us to animate the lid here, because I am not an animator. Oh, oh, I'm so stupid. I forgot that all these things have joints. I'm an idiot. Because, you know, the parts I made don't have joints. Yeah, you're so right. Thank you, Bingle. I really appreciate that for making that clear to me. I was not thinking about that. So let's get those joints actually. So let's look at the head real quick. Not of my model. Get out of here. There we go. Head, and then it has all these different. Yeah. Okay. So let's just. You know, I have an idea, but I don't like it. Let's rebuild the model using a block avatar. I want to use an R6. And then this will be interesting. But I think it's possible. No, I would want R6 because I'm using parts from or R15. I don't know. Problem is that the head it uses. Okay, it only uses parts as. It doesn't need attachments. That might be a good thing. Okay, let's try copying and pasting it here. Paste into, and then part 1 will be this. No. Go back. Oh no, it won't go back. Okay, whatever. And the upper torso is just whatever. I don't know. What? Why is it going over there? Oh no. I mean, could work. If I was using that as the model. Huh. This is my gesture, right? Don't want this. So I'd love it if this could go back to where it was. It even rotated. Oops. What? Well, that's annoying. And for some reason, moving the part doesn't change it by the stud increments anymore. There we go. Okay. You know, let's start from scratch here. Let's add a joint myself. Attach it to part 0. And then Part 1 will be hinge. I don't know if that will do anything, but let's see. Nope. Okay. Wait, hinge. Oh, look at that. I can rotate the hinge now in the animation. So let's do that. Does it stay? Okay, yeah. Huh, that took forever. Bet. Okay, so we can open up the lid now. I don't know why my animation editor looks so different than normal. Because, like, I used to be able to extend this if I wanted to. Why can't I do that? Where'd my keyframes go? Huh. Weird. It's not even showing it over here that we changed anything, but it does work like there was a keyframe there. So I'm gonna call that good. It opens up pretty quickly, but I think that's what the gesture does. So file, published Roblox, open lid, animation, yada yada yada, close. And then I know an animation goes back to what it was before. I actually need to bring that animation back, don't I, real quick? So I know it normally goes back to what it was before, but if you set like an animation event right here and added freeze. Oh, well, I also need, where did the hinge go? Why is the hinge over here? Now the hinge goes, what? Whoa. What? Dear me. Oh. Well, okay. What? How does this work? Okay, so this just hates my life now. So, you know, that's fun. Can't even undo what I just last did. Great. This is glitched. This is crazy. Okay. You know, I might just give up on the gesture. Apparently I need more work with you know, animation and NPCs, but I could still code the AI or something, the node system, but that is weird. I don't know how to work with Roblox characters too well, apparently. Oh my. If it was stationary, I'd be able to do it easily. Yeah, I just don't have enough humanoid modeling experience. Most of my games have just worked with normal Roblox models. So let's continue. If anyone has any other ideas in the chat, I'll come back to it. I won't give up on this. I'm going to do more work in the background in the next live stream for this series. I will finish this guy. I don't like admitting my low IQ moments, but this time I don't know how to work with a model that's not a Roblox humanoid. So if anyone has any more ideas that they want coded right now, list them in the chat. I do have a list of my own from previous videos, like from a year ago. So if we don't have any ideas, I can pull from there. But Jester is on the back burner for now. My apologies to Cool Beans dude that recommended that idea. Ooh, make a controller to control robots, a dummy. So like a physical controller that you can manipulate to make a different dummy, like not yourself, but a dummy in front of you move. Now, would that controller be a part in the game, or would it be a GUI, like a graphic interface, user interface? Because I could do either. That should be an interesting idea to do it as a part. Let's make that dummy real quick. Okay, so tool, perfect. Let's make that tool real quick. Let's make what it looks like first. So that will be a block. And we can use the dummy for scale for the tool size. Let's model it. 0.25 should be good increments to work with. And the controller is going to be gray. And then it's going to get a little antenna at the top, which could be thinner than 0.25. Work with 0.1 then. Make a little sphere at the top. Whoa, that's a very big sphere. Don't need that big. Like so. Make this a little bit thinner. That looks good. And then just have buns on there. Extend out. Have works right there. And I would have arrows, but I'll make that later. That looks good for now. Let's make it into an actual tool. So let's create a tool object. Tool, we'll call this controller. Take the parts here, drag it into the controller. One of these parts needs to be a handle, so let's rename the big part in the middle handle. And then I'm going to put that into starter pack, play the game, and then let's see what it looks like. Okay, yeah, I forgot to weld the model, so that's an issue. So basically, I'm going to want to weld all of the parts to a certain all the parts in the model I'm going to want to anchor or weld to the handle. So let's start doing that, I guess. Weld constraint. That's not a weld constraint. And part 0 will be the part we're in. Why did that happen? And part 1 will be the handle for all of these. I'm going to copy, start pasting it into it, and then just changing the part 0 to the part we're working with. Paste into, this is an annoying process, but usually I would create like a, oh crap. Usually I would create a plugin for this, but I don't have one that works with tools right now. I have one that works with models. Okay, I think they're all welded together, so let's try that again. Uh-oh, I forgot to put it in the starter pack. Okay, it is welded, it's just not positioned correctly, so I'm going to work with the player directly while the game's running. And the controller should be in there, and we can just change the grip. Yeah, so putting it to 1 is the wrong direction, so how about -1? And then that's too far. How about -0.5? Okay, can't. Did I type that wrong? There we go. Got that. That's somewhat, and we can change the orientation as well. So that's not the right orientation. But this. No, that is also not what I was going for. So how about that? There we go. So at least we get the controller in our hand. And so we're going to copy and paste this position and orientation in the grip. And then we're just going to paste it when we end the game. So orientation was 20, that, and then it's -0.5 for the position. So now when we play the game, it should have that position and orientation right from the get-go. And now we do have a tool in our hands. I'm going to move that gesture into server storage. I'm also going to delete the script we had before. So now we want to actually code the controller. What I'll do is the controller will also spawn the dummy, so then we know which dummy the controller is supposed to work with. So let's say we're supposed to work with this, and we'll just call him Robot for right now. Let's insert that into server storage. And then in our controller, let's add a script to it. Does a normal script work in a tool? Let's see. Local tool equals script dot parent tool dot equipped connect function print equip. When we take it out, yeah, so a server script will work. We can make code that runs on when it equips, which will be sending out the dummy. Local dummy equals how about local dummy equals game server storage robot clone, and then when it's equipped, we'll send the dummy out to the workspace. And when it's not equipped or dequipped, unequipped, we'll send them back to the, well, something like that. Could be an issue of memory leakage with this, but we'll fix that in a second. There you are. Do you leave? Oh yeah, you do. Okay. Cool. So it's like spawns our robot, but maybe we should spawn it like right in front of us instead of wherever it was. You want it to be compatible with a PlayStation controller? Ooh, I haven't worked with controllers in a while either, but I think I know how to do that. And then I think the camera should, be on the dummy, right? Because we could either have it that the camera stays on our character, but it pops up like a little GUI that players can click on to make the dummy or the robot move. Or we could have it like you're actually playing as the robot when you have the controller open and, there's not actual buttons to click. You're just playing as the robot. That would be a decision you could make, Cheese, in the chat. Either one would work. It would be really easy to just make the player start playing as the robot, but having buttons that would operate the robot like a controller actually would be easy as well. GUI, okay. So let's open up starter GUI so we can start working with a GUI and get a frame. We're going to want buttons, so let's make the frame. We'll try to make it not obtrusive so that while you have the controller open, you could actually and I'll make this compatible with controller as well. Ooh, that could work too. We could make it switch modes. So let's... Ooh. Yeah, that could work. So I like that idea. Let's make the size 0.2, 0.2. Give it an aspect ratio. Set it to the bottom left corner. Oh, that's, whoops, wrong one. And then change the anchor point so it's in the bottom left corner. Let's give it some distance from, oops, the bottom here. There we go. Move this. Move this thing over here. And then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, 0.3.3. It's going to get, first, a button to switch modes. It's going to say current mode. Well, first I need to resize this. Switch mode. Recolor the button. And then what we want is another set of buttons that will be the movement of the robot. So I'm going to do a little cheat here. I'm going to make another frame. Do 0.7, 0.7, whoops, 0.70, 0.70. Put it into the middle. Okay, maybe a little bit smaller. That works. We can make the position a little bit lower. There we go. Let's excuse me, let's do this, give it a grid, because this is the cheat. I'm going to make a grid UI grid layout, and then I'm going to just put buttons in here. The UI grid layout should give it a 0.5 size as well as 0 padding. The button is not doing so well. UI grid layout, we need to make the cell size 0.5 as well, except for we're going to be doing 0.3332. And I'm just going to duplicate this button 9 times. It's going to be a little bit off. 32. It's closer. Okay. Then let's make all of these buttons, first of all, background transparency 1. The text, we'll just automatically set it to nothing. The top button, we'll do that. This is the right button. Oh no, this isn't too much. I'll just continue doing this for now. Some things just take a little bit of time, which doesn't mean they're difficult. It's just process. Whoops, I don't want to rename it. I want it actually. So I'm going to cheat a little bit with just, make the functionality first and work on the looks of it later. This is down. And this is left. Oops. There, now we have like a little left, right, up, down thing. So I'm going to call this controller, the GUI, and we could insert that into the controller. Then when it's equipped, let's create the GUI. And then when we equip it, the player should be script, whoops, character script.parent, and the local player should be game.players get player from character. Local player GUI should equal player wait for child player GUI controller GUI dot parent equals player GUI. And script dot parent for when it disconnects. Let's see if that works. That does not work. Attempt to index nil with wait for child. So we didn't get the player, I think. Oops. Make sure that the character is right. No, it's not right. That is not the character. That is the tool itself. Oh, duh. Why did I even think that would be did it up there? Okay. That should work. No, it does not work. Because that's the backpack. Okay. We're getting there. So how many parents do we need to get to the character? Oh, wait, is this the player? Oh, right. It's not inside the character yet because when it's first... Ugh, that is annoying, isn't it? So what we could do is do this. Do it when we equip it. Because when we equip, it goes from the player to the character. Well, actually, if we have the player right here, script.parent.parent is the player. And just do that. Try that. Controller. Okay, yeah, that works. Ooh. Also, it spawns the robot when you open the controller. I should put a little text that says current mode onto the GUI real quick. And let's add text to this here. Text label. Call it current mode. One point two. Nope. Okay. 1.2. There we go. Put it to the top, which it already is. Make the background transparent. Oh, we want it on the top, like that. Scale the text. Call it. Text should be controller mode. Bold it, make it white text. That should work. And then when we switch the mode, we're going to just change that text. So let's go into the controller GUI and then just under this text button, which is switch mode, I'm going to insert, do local scripts work now? Because I wonder, I'm curious. very curious about this. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm just going to connect a function to it real quick, the switch mode button. And we'll try that again. There we go. Okay. Let's actually code the functionality to it. Local mode equals, whoops, hit my microphone there. Local mode is equal to, or I should just say controller mode is controller mode. That will change controller mode to the opposite, and then we're just going to fire an event. Where would that be at? That would be, you know, workspace does replicate. I wonder if that would work. Let's just put it into this replicated storage here right now. The remote event will be called switch mode, and we're just going to fire it. Switch mode fire server is controller mode. Then in server script service, wait a second, do we need that? We do, I think, yeah. Because I'm going to insert a script object here. Game.replicate.storage.switch mode on server event connect function player when the controller spawns the dummy. Well, actually what we want is this dummy here. The dummy's name needs to be set to player.name dummy. Or how about user ID? So when it spawns, oh, whoops. So when it spawns, yeah, it changes to the user ID and then dummy, so then we can index it later. Now what we'll do in the script is local dummy equals game.workspace find first child player that user ID dummy, if dummy, then local humanoid equals dummy and dummy find first child of class humanoid or nil, and then in that if we'll just include that humanoid. Oh, sorry, Winston YouTube, I did not see your chat before. He probably left. They probably left. Hello and goodbye if you ever come back. Let's look at this. So we now have the dummy and humanoid, and what we're going to do is we also need that is controller event is controller. as well as just trying to think of how we'll. Okay, yeah. So let's do if is controller. If not, I guess. Well, that would be confusing. Let's do this. We'll do that in the else if it's not controller mode. Because if it's not controller mode, then it's player mode and you're playing as the dummy. So once you find the dummy, the player object has a character value, which I think is set to the model itself. Yes, it is. So could we not just do player.character equals dummy? Very interested to see if this works. The script in controller starts as I need the GUI. It starts as controller mode, so then we switch modes. We switch it. Should be set to false, and then that should fire this. This should be false, so it does this. Okay. Let's test it out. And click switch mode. Okay, so if you can tell, my character is the dummy, but the camera did not switch with. And that's actually an easy fix too. So let's go into our GUI and into the switch mode again. We're going to do a if not is controller mode, then, and then if it is controller mode, or if it's not controller mode, we want to switch the camera. And the camera, what is that actually set to? I need to look at that real quick. So in our character, or the workspace.camera, the subject, if I can find it, camera subject is the humanoid. So I did think I needed the humanoid for something. It was for the camera, but I didn't bring it in the right place. So that's fine. So let's find it first. Local dummy, or robot, I guess, but that's fine. Is equal to workspace find first child. We can get the player through, whoops, game.players.localPlayer, and then we'll find the first child, player dot user ID dummy. If dummy, then workspace.current camera. Oh, we need to do the humanoid thing again. Local humanoid equals dummy, and dummy find first child of class humanoid, or nil if dummy, and humanoid. And then current camera dot camera subject is equal to our dummy humanoid. Let's test that out. And yeah, now we play as the dummy. Now, the only thing I noticed that concerns me is that the controller... Oh, our character gets despawned. That's why. Can I hold the controller as the dummy? I can. And it creates another dummy. That's weird. Oh no. So yeah, that might be a concern of actually just switching the character model to the dummy. That's not what we wanted. But that is a very interesting thing that happens. A dummy holding another dummy. Adam, I don't normally teach one-on-one students, and See you later, Cheese. Thanks for being on the stream. Appreciate that. I don't normally teach one-on-one students. However, I do have like a gilded server that I just created a couple days ago that's linked on the channel. I made it so that if anyone had questions on coding questions, they could directly message me on Gilded, and I can always help when I have the time that way. But no, I don't normally do like one-on-one tutorial sessions or anything. This is a weird occurrence that's happening. Now, what happens if I switch mode again? Nothing happens. Breaks. Lovely. So that was caused by setting the dummy. We don't want that actually, so fix that. We do want it to start controlling the dummy instead, though. I would change this. Should fix the issue of creating another dummy. But now we need to make it so that the controls, rather than affect the player, they would affect the dummy instead. That is actually a difficult thing to do. First thing I would do is probably anchor. Now, let's look at how the player moves. We have where is the movement? Oh, it's probably a local script, isn't it? The server is going to have to give control to the... Okay. I made this hard on myself. For right now, I'll just code the controller script. Script dot parent activated connect function. And then in replicated storage, we'll insert move robot aimed at replicated storage, move robot, fire server, and then this is on down. Try this. I'm going to copy and paste this script into all of maybe I'm just too tired for this right now, goodness sakes. I should be a mouse down, right? Yeah, okay. Mouse button 1 down. And we'll set it to true. And then up. We'll set it to false. And I'm going to copy and paste this one into the other buttons that move the robot. And then within our server script, or within the robot, to be honest. No. Within our server script service, we'll do a game dot replicated dot move robot on server event connect function player move direction released or good move. On our robot, I'm going to create an attribute called move, or a vector 3. Move direction. And then inside it, I'm going to insert a script. Game.run service dot heartbeat connect function local move direction equals script dot parent get attribute move direction. Let's get the humanoid. Humanoid move direction false. So if we were to set it to 1, it should start moving like that. Okay, perfect. And actually this should be true, probably. And now when the buttons press, we're going to want to set that move direction to the dummy. If good move, then if move direction if move direction equals left, then if good move no. Oh dear. This is getting annoyingly hard. So local move current move direction equals dummy get attribute move direction. If move direction equals left, then we want to set dummy set attribute move direction to should move and current move direction plus vector 3 new 100 for current move direction minus vector3 dot new 100. I think that should make it work somewhat. So I still have it set to 000, which, or 100 on the robot itself, which we don't want. So let's set it back to 000. Press that play button. Let's see if hitting the left button makes it move to the left or something. Oh my goodness, it did. That makes me very happy that it worked. Not relative to camera, but that is just fine. So we're going to be doing that with all of the different buttons on that controller. We already did. We need to work with the server script service. If move direction, oops. Else if move direction is equal to right, then we'll just do the opposite that we do here. And then else if move direction equals, so we have down and top, so down. Not sure which one should be this right now, but I think we'll just set it to -1 here. And then do the opposite for the last possibility, which is move direction equals top. Let's try that out, see what happens. So that's, if that's up, that's left, that's right, that's down. Okay, it works, just works on the grid system. I'm not sure how we'll do the switch mode thing, but it's, I mean, technically switching modes does, just changing it to the camera is actually probably a good thing. The only issue we have is that moving the robot doesn't move it using the camera as relative. I thought I set that back to true. But the problem is probably we're moving it with a server script. So I'm curious to see if we were to start doing it with a local script, if it would still do the same thing. So I'm going to I'm not actually sure how we would get that. We could ask for the camera rotation or the orientation of it, but I'm not. I think what we'll do, make it relative to the camera. We'll make that script the script that makes this the dummy move. We'll turn it into a local script. And then when the controller creates the dummy, we'll just make it so that the player controls the physics of the robot, just like they have control over the physics of their own character. So dummy.robot, when we clone it, what we'll want to do is when it's here, primary part, set network owner to the player. And then when it's here, we can say it's ours again, which is the server. Now, when we make a change to it via a local script, it should replicate to everyone else. Which, what we'll do, we need to change that. Where is that? The robot has a script that we need to change. So I'm going to remove the script here. But now when the robot is created, we need to start, the player needs to start editing it itself. Or like moving it. Which makes me think we no longer need the event anymore, do we? Move robot? If it's gonna be... I probably made this more complicated than it needs to be. So usually what I do in these streams is afterwards I'll show me making it initially, but then afterwards I'll work on it, refactor code, make it much more efficient, give more time on it, and then I'll release it so then the person that asked for it could actually use it in their game. I just do it on stream just to show the process of like initially thinking of the idea. But half the time I code it pretty poorly the first time, because I'm also trying to rush a little bit. But yeah, so let's see if I can just make it so that when the controller activates using a local script, print test local. I just want to make sure that this local script will run. Okay, yeah, the local script runs. Perfect. So script.parent.activated connect function, not activated, I want equipped. Local no, that wouldn't work either. I am going to do something interesting. I'm going to use another remote that we already have. So game that replicated storage dot move robot fire client layer, and then say true. And here do false. And then in the local script of controller, we'll do game.replicate storage.move robot on client event connect function. Good. Move. And then we'll do if good move, then connection equals game dot run service dot heartbeat connect function. Local dummy equals workspace Find first child. Game.players.localplayer.name. Dummy. Local humanoid equals dummy. My first child class. Humanoid. If dummy and humanoid, then and then just do humanoid move dummy get attribute move direction. Boop. Else if connection disconnect connection is nil. Okay, let's see what this does. I wasn't talking too much during that for what I was doing, but please. Okay, I kind of broke it, I think. Curious to see if it's even running. Okay. True. Print dummy and humanoid. Okay, that's nil. Okay, that's the problem. Okay. Oh, whoops. I did the name. Whoops, user ID. Try this. Okay. Okay. There we go. So it is using the camera now. So if I were to switch mode, it doesn't do. Oh, it does. The left and right are wrong, and the up and down is also the opposite of what it should be. So let's go fix that real quick within our, where would that be at? That would be within our controller, I think. The controller GUI. No. That would be within our move script. Oh, here we are. It would be in a script. So let's just change the sign of all of our movement values. Come on. And that looks about right. Let's try it again. Okay. Yep, left, down, down, up, and that should replicate to everyone. But now we have a remote control that controls a dummy. You would do the animations just like you would for any other NPC. You can even just copy and paste the animation script from Roblox characters and paste it into the dummy as well, which I'll just showcase right now. But oh, I need to go back into the game real quick. So in our Roblox character, we can just copy and paste the animation script. Let's copy it. Stop the game, and then we can paste it into our dummy model. There might be some errors that pop up, but it should animate, I believe. No, it didn't. You used to be able to just copy and paste it into a dummy. Maybe not anymore. Oh, it's because we have 2 animation scripts in here. Wait, how do we have 2? That's weird. Anyway, I'll delete that. Oh, we really do have 2 of those in there now. There's already an animation script in there. It's just not running because it's a local script, I guess. Anyway, yep, so that's it for this little model here. I am probably going to call it good for now with the live stream. I didn't get as much done as I thought I was going to. Those things took a little bit longer, and I didn't even get one of them completed. So I'll get those completed done in the background. I will be doing more live streams at this same time, hopefully every week. I'll have it scheduled beforehand so you guys can tell if it will be there. And I hope you guys have some patience as I get back into live streaming, getting used to doing the whole streaming thing again. More videos will be coming, so check those out as well. Guild server is linked down below. You can ask me questions about coding anytime you want. I'll try to answer back on that server. It's just like Discord, but I think it's better than Discord. And then, yeah, if you enjoyed the live stream, or if you're still here and you liked it, just don't forget to hit the like button, so that I know that you guys want to see more of these. And I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.